When I'm playing games on my rack-mounted PC, it gets hot. I'm talking about hotspot temperatures of over 100 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that doesn't seem good to me. So that's left me wondering, what can I possibly do to help my RTX 4090 not suffocate inside of the CX3171 Alpha XL? Well, I guess I could buy a water cooling kit for it, but that's kind of expensive, and I also risk voiding my warranty, and I already broke my graphics card once. So I'd like to not repeat that again. So what other options do I have? Well, I guess I could modify the lid. Now I figure the way to go about this is just quite simply drill some holes into the lid itself, and we just need to do it in like a grid pattern over where the GPU would sit. So if the lid sits like this, the GPU would be here. So this is where we need to drill our holes, and I'll just do it in like a square-like pattern and we should be good to go. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work actually. Maybe we should consult some professionals. I like the tools and skills to do this the right way. So after reaching out to Sliger and requesting they make a custom lid for me, this is what they came up with. A nice grid pattern on the chassis. So this should allow plenty of airflow into the reference style cooler, and it'll suck in all the cool air from outside. And I think they did a pretty good job with this. They gave it a nice matte black finish, and overall I'm pretty happy, and it doesn't seem to have really compromised the lid. Now, should you reach out to Sliger and have them do this for you? No, because this cost me over $300 to do, which is just as much as a water cooling kit, but I figure there's probably tons of you out there that have the skills or access to tools to customize your own lid and drill your own holes or perforate it so that way air can get inside. But is it worth the effort? That's what we're here to find out. And hopefully I didn't waste $300. One thing to keep in mind is the equipment above your chassis. If there's anything above it that could potentially block the airflow, you're gonna have a bad time or really be in the same place you are already in. So you definitely wanna keep this area clear so enough air can get inside and be exhausted out the rear to really give you any kind of fighting chance. With the new lid installed, we're ready to fire up the system. Before, when I would basically play any game, the temperature would always be about 90 degrees Celsius, and that's just the GPU temperature. The hotspot temperature could be as high as 100 degrees Celsius, and the memory junction itself could also be as high as 96 degrees Celsius. So I'm hoping now that we have this going, I can pretty much play any game that I want. And yeah, it won't be over or anywhere near 100 degrees Celsius on any of these temperatures, and hopefully won't be anywhere near 90 degrees Celsius at all either. So like I said before, it didn't really matter what game we play. As soon as you started playing, the temperature would always shoot up. So that's kind of what we're here to do, is just play for the briefest of moments and see what happens. I can already tell things are going pretty great, because the temperature hasn't spiked up to 80 degrees Celsius yet, which is pretty common. Again, no matter what game I play, we're sitting at about 63 degrees Celsius right now. This game really isn't jacking up the temperature. I'm sure if we sat here long enough, it would go higher, maybe like 70 degrees Celsius, but this is taking too long. So let's actually try out a benchmark and see what happens. Okay, well, I'm gonna play for just a little bit, and maybe we'll do those benchmarks. Forgot how fun this game was. With the modded lid installed and we're letting the Steel Nomad stress test run, we could talk about the actual results with this lid and see just how hot the temperatures were. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, we failed the Steel Nomad stress test. Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't even complete because it got so hot. I saw GPU temperatures as high as 90.6 degrees Celsius or 98 degrees Celsius with the junction temperature, and the hotspot temperature as high as 104.9 degrees Celsius. So obviously this thing is thermal throttling because it's just so hot in there. So I'm really excited to see what the results are with the modded lid. With the new lid installed, the Steel Nomad stress test completed with a 98.3% frame rate stability, and I guess that's a pass, so that's good news. And as far as temperatures go, the GPU temperature that I saw at the highest was about 79.7 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure it hit 80 there a couple times. It's just not something that I noticed with my own eyes. And as far as the memory junction temperature, I saw that sit around 86 degrees Celsius during the stress test, so nothing to be concerned about there. And for hotspot temperature, I didn't see anything over 92 degrees Celsius, so just with that sole change alone, we managed to actually reduce the temperature a lot. The change in hotspot temperature alone is huge, from 104 degrees Celsius all the way down to 92 degrees Celsius, and the GPU core clock actually increased from 2,415-ish megahertz all the way up to, or as high as, 2,685 megahertz. So we actually gained some performance on top of that. So just a simple mod alone seems pretty worthwhile, especially if you have the tools at home. I know this is absolutely silly, and at over $300, it's totally not worth it, but on the plus side, I'm gonna sleep a little bit better at night knowing that I'm not gonna early terminate my graphics card, so you know what? It was worth the investment for me in this very exact environment and situation. This is not gonna apply universally. Ideally, you know somebody that can modify the lid for you, and or you have the tools at home to do it yourself. Otherwise, I don't think I would pay Sliger $300+ to do this. Maybe there's a machine shop locally that could do it cheaper. But the ideal situation is you already bought a graphics card that has an AIO attached to it. That's obviously going to give you the best benefit in this particular case. Your only real alternative to that would just be buying a larger chassis that's maybe 4 or even 5U, or simply just getting a traditional desktop tower and putting your graphics card in there. And that's probably going to work even better than what I did, and it would be a hell of a lot cheaper as well. So with all that in mind, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.